revision for this proposal for this editorial. We have already gone through the proposal with the ma'am, which she has told us. Now I'm again reading everything in a detail, so it would get benefit to you all. So here there is almost 6 articles we need to discuss. So first article is that the former Attorney General Soli Sorabji passed away. So famous Attorney General that has been passed away. Now he had received the Padma Bhushan. He is the Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushana they have received. So Krishna Das Rajagopal, this case, former Attorney General is Soli Sorabji. So here eminent jurist and former Attorney General of Soli Sorabji passed away on Friday due to COVID-19 implications. On Friday, that is on 30th April. So COVID-19 complications the उन्हें. Now Sorabji was born on 1930, so he has served in a long while. So in erstwhile Bombay of a Parsi family, he was a producer of Saint Xavier and Government Law College. He was a product of Government Law College also. He was admitted to the bar in 1953. He appeared in several historic cases like Keshwananda Bharti cases or the basic structure doctrine. He also received Padma Vibhushana for championing free speech and human rights. Even recently, he raised his voice against students of Jawaharlal Nehru University being charged with sedition for expressing their dissent. So he worked for the Sikh community pro bono after he worked for the Sikh community pro bono after 1984 riots. So he worked for the Sikh community also. He was appointed as honorary member of Order of Australia. He was twice appointed as Attorney General of India, and he is autobiography, that is Before Memory Fades. Senior advocate Fail Nirman remembers Sorabji entry into chambers of they joined for the Bombay bar. Now Sir Jamshedji Kanga as the younger lawyer. For a long while we were rivals, later unfriendly rivals, but now in the evening our lives we were friends. So now Mr. Nirman wrote that the book referred to Mr. Sorabji distinguished career going to become India's Attorney General, first in 1989 for a year and again in 1998 for 5 years. So in 1989 before 9 and after and he served for 5 years, then there is a gap for 5 years, and then he again appointed for further 5 years. In his condolence, CJI Justice N.V. Ramanandan said Shri Soli Ji Sorabji served the office of Attorney General of India twice with the great distinction, as his humane and compassionate approach defined his legal work. His body of work spread over nearly 7 decades in defending the fundamental rights and human rights is on international repute. He will be remembered as the legend who added strength to the pillars of democracy. So here we have already discussed that everything related to this. Now he has a Padma Vibhushana for why? For campaigning free speech and human rights. So now we need to learn about the facts, that is Attorney General of India. It is basically, Attorney General is a part of the Union Executive. Also, it is the highest law officer in the country. And Article 76 deals with the Attorney General of India. appointment and eligibility, that is Parliament of India must be qualified for appointed as a judge of Supreme Court. So there is Parliament of India की eligibility होनी चाहिए, and also he must be qualified to be appointed as a judge of Supreme Court. Term not fixed by the Constitution. And removal, there is a procedures and ground for the removal of Attorney General are not stated in the Constitution, though he and she holds the office during the pleasure of the President. Now, duties are the discharge the functions conferred on her duty, Constitution and other law. Now, on behalf of the Government of India, in all cases in Supreme Court, High Court appears, he can appear of the government on behalf of the Government in India in Supreme Court and High Court, and the duty is to advise the Government of India upon the legal matters referred by the President. He can also represent the Government of India in any reference made by the President to Supreme Court as per Article 143. So 143 में he can represent the Government of India in any reference made by the President to Supreme Court. Now we have another question, another article, that is demand for Manrega work spike. Now the demand for Manrega work so far in the month of April has increased to 2.57 crore households, 92% higher than a year ago, and a record high for April since 2013. Now, as per the State Bank of India SBI research, this indicates the extent of reverse migration from the lockdown states to their native states. Now, SBI Group Chief Economic Advisors Soumya Kanti Ghosh said the government has allocated 73,000 crore in this year's budget for the Manrega, nearly 34.5% lower than the last year, and revised estimates to 1.11 lakh crore on assumption that an economic recovery would alleviate the need for such spending. Now, demand for Manrega clock spikes that Manrega contexted the demand for Manrega work so far in the month of April. Now they increased to 2.557 crore household and 92% higher than a year ago. Now it is record since 2003. Now SBI search details that it indicates the extent to reverse migration from the lockdown states to their native states. Now government had allowed that 73,000 crores in this year and budget. Now Manrega nearly 34.5 crores, 34.5% lower than the revised estimate of the 2 lakh crores. Now facts of Manrega. Now key stakeholders. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, launched in the 2nd February 2006. Now this act passed on 23rd August 2005, earlier called as the National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So who is the key stakeholders? It has launched in 2006 February and that has passed on the 2005. Okay, in August onwards it has passed. And who is the key stakeholders? Ved sectors, Gram Sabha, 3-tier Panchayat Raj institutions, program office of the block level. Also there is a DCL program coordination, state government, Ministry of Rural Development, civil society and others. What are the key features? That is the largest work guarantee program in the world. It is the larger work guarantee program in the world, and it emphasizes on strengthening the process of decentralizations by giving a significant role to the PRI, person residence in India. And it's also demand driven scheme, get work in 15 days, unemployment allowance, and it guarantees 100 days of employment in every financial year. So we need to get 15 days, we will get work in 15 days and unemployment allowance, and we have a guarantee for 100 days employment in every financial year to the adult member of any rural household and willing to do public work related unskilled work basically. So what all are the challenges that we are facing here? Fabrication of the job cards, large number of incomplete works, and also ineffective role of the person residents in India, and also the delay in payment of wages, inadequate financing. Now the question is that Manrega remains crucial for integrated resource management and livelihoods and generation prospective. Now Manrega remains crucial for integrated resource management and livelihood and generator perspective. Comment in 150 words. So these all are the challenges: that inadequate financing, delay in payment wages, ineffective role, large number of incomplete works, and fabrication of job cards. Now we have to go for another article, that is of medical equipment flown in the US and UK, Romania and Ireland. So here the United States, Romania, Ireland and United Kingdom on Friday flew a large quantity of oxygen related items and medicines to deal with the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic in India. So here External Financial Minister, that is S. J. Shankar, spoke with the US Secretary of State Attorney J. Blinken and reviewed the ongoing American efforts to bolster India's position to counter COVID-19. Now 2 aircraft from the US landed on Friday, bringing the large quantity of essential supplies. The first flight brought 423 oxygen cylinders, 210 pulse oximeters, and also 184,000 Abbott rapid diagnostic test kits and 84,000 N96 face masks. Now the second flight brought 17 large oxygen cylinders and 7 lakh Abbott rapid diagnostic test kits, and also the third flight from the UK arrived in India carrying 280 oxygen concentrators and 40 ventilators. Now a shipment containing 700 units of the oxygen concentrator and 365 ventilators arrived from Ireland. Now the Friday also saw increased flow of assistance from EU member countries, and one C-130 aircraft of the Romanian Air Force landed at Palam Air Base and oxygen and other medical supplies as a part of the joint Romania-EU effort of India. Now this includes 80 oxygen concentrators, 75 oxygen cylinders. So basically they are talking about that what we have got from other countries in India, and US, UK, Romania and Ireland has helped us. So here medical equipment flown from US, UK, Romania and Ireland. Now foreign assistance context is, here the context is that the US, Romania, Ireland and UK flew a large quantity of oxygen related items and medicines to deal with the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic in India. Now the details is that US aircraft landed bringing a large quantity of the essential supplies. First flights, this is not so important, and second flight, and there is a UK से भी काफ़ी कुछ दिया गया, EU से भी काफ़ी कुछ दिया गया, and EU countries like other EU countries like Ireland, Belgium, Luxembourg, Portugal and Sweden, they have also helped in India, and Japan has expected to provide 300 oxygen concentrators and 300 ventilators. So this is just the news. And now April GST collections may go up to 1.2 lakh crores. So e-way bills will cross 5.5 crores, SBI report. Now GST collections are likely to remain robust at about 1.5 lakh crores to 1.2 lakh crores in India. So there is an increase despite the spate of lockdown. Give me 2 seconds. I'll not ask more than 2 seconds. Okay, so in spite of lockdowns, so the series of lockdown across the country SBI said that in the report on the Friday ahead of the official GST revenue data expected on May 1st, now GST collections have clocked more than 1 lakh crores for 6 months in a row. Now a record of 1.24 lakhs crores following in March. Our internal simulation models indicates that April 21 GST collection will be quite higher than the earlier. Now this will be quite impressive if we given that during April most states imposed partial lockdown. Now SBI Group Chief Economics Advisor Soumya Kanti Ghosh said in the report, despite the curbs due to the second wave, all India GST e-way till April have reached 4.89 crores. We estimate that it crossed 5.5 crores comfortably, and at this peak of the lockdown, April and May, only 0.9 crores and 2.5 crores e-way bill were generated respectively. Now the April GST collection may goes up, and I already know about all interstate GST. Now facts and figures. Now here is another case that India must be transparent about COVID-19. This is another article, and that to be able to deal better with the crisis. Now with India official death toll from the coronavirus crossing 2 lakh, and it is now placed fourth after the United States. So it is now the fourth place. United States, Mexico and Brazil are in the list. Now this is just another of the grim milestone in India reaching journey through the pandemic. Now, but it dents the government's year-long endeavors to obfuscate and unpleasant reality. Now, at Health Ministry press briefing, officials have long sought to convey that India's death toll, a fraction of its population, was lower than that of several countries. Now, this fact continues to be so on. Now, the three countries with a higher death toll per million, 1600 and 1800 deaths between them, and India is only about 150. This low count is meant to impress that India has done a better job in protecting its people. Now, these numbers and slackening of the coronavirus curves in winter even prompted respected scientists to hypothesis of if genetic or peculiar social circumstances had combined to confer a certain broad immunity to the vast heterogeneous population. Now, on the other hand, a spectrum of independent experts have pointed out the problem in the system of death reporting in India. Though undercounting deaths a pandemic is expected, now the concern in India has been that of a deliberate omission. As this paper pointed out, on April 16, as per the Gujarat Health Bulletin, there were 78 official deaths, but 689 bodies were either cremated or buried following COVID-19 protocol. Last year, Tamil Nadu, Delhi and West Bengal did not count deaths in those who had comorbidities as COVID. Now, what are the facts and figure in this case? That COVID-19 deaths, it has second wave and it has crossed 2 lakh deaths as per the official report, and it is placed after the US, Mexico and Brazil. Now, India per month 150 low counts mean to impress that India has done a better job in protecting people. Also, a spectrum of Indian experts have pointed out that the problems in the system of death reporting in India means that is not the actual amount that as per the independent experts they have said. Now, Gujarat Health Bulletin to 70 official deaths, and last year in West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Delhi did not count deaths in those who had comorbidities as COVID-19's death. And also Gujarat Health Bulletin to said that 17 official deaths, 689 bodies were either cremated, buried following COVID-19 protocol. 2/3 deaths in India occur at time, 14% deaths are not registered. Now, second wave visual to the bodies and peoples on the threshold of death. Now, lack of basic medicines, facility, oxygens by the ventilators made it harder for the government to convince people, and COVID-19 is better controlled in India than anywhere else. Here, 4% of the Indians above 60 have been fully vaccinated, and over 15 crore vaccine doses have been administered so far. Now, need is to redouble its effort as being honest and transparent and its numbers, however impactable they may be. So here we have another topic, that is the rising sun in India's India-Japan relations. I think we have to discuss it in another video. Thank you.